Let's bring this meeting into session. Last week I've told you all that I'll explain MBTI types, and guess what? I'm here, and I'm doing it. Knowing about MBTI types can help you figure out your characters and remind you about how to write them. So first up, what are MBTI types? The Google definition for it is the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator is an introspective self-report questionnaire indicating differing psychological preferences in how people perceive the world and make decisions. The test attempts to assign 4 categories: introversion or extroversion, sensing or intuition, thinking or feeling, and judging or perceiving. There are different names that come with the type. I will start with listing off the type, then their name. ISTJ, the inspector. ISTP, the crafter. ISFJ, the protector. ISFP, the artist. INFJ, the advocate. INFP, the mediator. INTJ, the architect. INTP, the thinker. ESTP, the persuader. ESTJ, the director. ESFP, the performer. ESFJ, the caregiver. ENFP, the champion. ENFJ, the giver. ENTP, the debater. And ENTJ, the commander. Now I'll go into the questions. First up, extroversion. Are you inwardly focused? If you could be described as talkative, outgoing, like to be in a fast-paced environment, tend to work out ideas with others, think out loud, and enjoy being in the center of attention, then you prefer E, extroversion. Next, introversion. If you could be described as reserved, private, prefer a slower pace with time for contemplation, tend to think things through inside your head, and would rather observe than be the center of attention, then you prefer I, introversion. I cannot read today. Next question. First up, sensing. How do you prefer to take in information? If you focus on the reality of how things are, pay attention to concrete facts and details, prefer ideas that have practical applications, and like to describe things in a specific, literal way, then you prefer S, sensing. Next, intuition. If you imagine the possibilities of how things could be, notice the big picture, see how everything connects, enjoy ideas and concepts for their own sake, and like to describe things in a figurative, poetic way, then you prefer N, intuition. Next question. First up, thinking. How do you prefer to make decisions? If you make decisions in an impersonal way, using logical reasoning, value justice, fairness, enjoy finding the flaws in an argument, and could be described as reasonable and level-headed, then you prefer T, thinking. Next, feeling. If you base your decisions on personal values and how your actions affect others, value harmony and forgiveness, like to please others and point out the best in people, and could be described as warm, empathetic, then you prefer F, feeling. Last question. First up, judging. How do you prefer your outer life? If you prefer to have matters settled, think rules and deadlines should be respected, prefer to have detailed step-by-step instructions, and make plans, want to know what you're getting into, then you prefer J, judging. Next, perceiving. If you prefer to leave your options open, sees rules and deadlines as flexible, like to improvise and make things up as you go, and are spontaneous, enjoy surprises and new situations, then you prefer P, perceiving. So, if you have just written down the letters that match what you're like, then you can put them together and figure out what type of person you are. Feel free to go back and figure out the name for your type if you'd like to as well. I'm sure there's someone out there who's curious on what type I am, and my answer to that is, there's not a definite answer on that for me. I tend to be a completely different person regularly, so stuff like MBTI types aren't that effective on me, since the type I am is always changing. So, feel free to go through and figure out who you are, or even describe who your characters are. Check out the Discord in the creative writing Discord in the description. My Instagram is at dark_night_wolves, and let's bring this meeting to an end.